and welcome to the salon.
Today, I will be cutting Lindsay's hair as we talk about... What are we talking about?
just like hair, makeup, just all of the beauty stuff, and just stories around it.
Mandy knows so much.
Well, Mandy has a lot to talk about with your makeup experiences, your hair experiences.
Okay, your hair is really long. That's true. So, it started in 2020 in COVID because my mom's hair was extremely long and looked awful, and me and my sister wanted to cut it so bad, but she wouldn't let me. And so then I cut my sister's hair because it's like mine, so I know how to do it. But so I was cutting her hair, and I was like, "See, Mom, look," or whatever. Then my mom finally let me cut her hair. She only take off barely anything and needed more. And then my brother saw me cutting her hair, and he needed a haircut. And so then I cut his hair, and I gave him like a fade and everything, and I did pretty good. And so then he had me cut his hair more times over COVID, and then I cut my sister's hair like all the time, and I cut a couple of her friends' hair, and then now I've been cutting Quinn's hair, my husband, for like 3 years. I'm a survivor, I'm not gonna give up. Oh, that is cool. I know, I got this for my birthday last year. It's amazing. You can like hold, if you pump it like 3 or 4 times, it just doesn't miss over and over. I just go like this. It's so nice.
This is a professional salon.
I know, Grace got me this for my birthday because it was like $30. It's because it's a plastic bottle that it's like designed so it doesn't gather any mildew. Because you know sometimes where like you'll get like plastic bottles, spray bottles, and it's like over time it's like smells. Yeah. This one never does.
That's cool.
It's awesome. Oh yeah, so I learned to cut hair from one of Quinn's, men's hair I learned to cut from one of Quinn's barbers, and he was always like high playing video games while he cut his hair, so it took a very long time. So I would go there and I would hang out and I would just like watch him cut his hair. So I learned that way, and then we went to a different barber or whatever, and then Quinn discovered that I could cut his hair, so he's like, "Oh, why don't you just do it? Lindsay, can you style it how you usually do, like which pieces you bring in front?"
I don't have.
You don't do that.
I really don't have any layers right now. If you want to throw layers in, that's.
No, I'm scared to do that with straight hair. But anyway, and so I was like, okay. So then we went, after I'd been cutting Quinn's hair for a couple of years, he went back to this other barber, and that barber was like, "Oh, hey," right before our wedding this year. And he was like, "Oh, who's been like cutting your hair? I haven't seen you in a while." And he's like, "Oh, my fiance has." And he's like, "Oh, like, is she in cosmetology school or cosmetology? Is that it?"
Yeah.
I almost said cosmopolitan. I was like, which one is it? And he's like, "Oh, no, she's not." And he's like, "She's not?" And then he's like, "Well, she's been doing a really good job." And he goes, "There's a couple things I could teach her, but she's like, this looks really good." And he's like, "You're sure she hasn't had any like formal training?" He goes, "I'd love to train her." And I was like, that gave me an ego boost.
So currently you're cutting Quinn's hair,
Lucas's hair, Grace's fiance.
and then do you cut any of your brother's hair right now?
No. Joe watched me cut Lucas's hair. I cut it a couple weeks ago in preparation for the wedding. Because I was like, I did a different kind of cut on it. I did like a tighter fade. And Joe was watching me, and he was like, "Wow, you're actually pretty good at this." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I know what I'm doing." And then I have never cut straight hair until I cut Mandy's hair. And I was like, terrified. But Lindsay's like, "You got this," in my parents' kitchen. And then I figured out I could cut straight hair.
So you've cut your sister-in-law's hair,
Yeah.
my hair, and Mandy's hair. This is my second Olivia haircut.
Wait, no, yeah, it is my second one because I cut it the first time at Mandy's. Was that at your house?
Yeah. And then she also gave a man a mullet. And it worked out pretty well.
I had never done that.
It worked.
So that was fun. It's just fun because it's like, oh, I'm learning something new. I like doing new stuff. It's fun. Like with my hands. It's kind of like cooking, but like not more satisfactory, but like, ooh, it's like unique kind of. I don't know. The mullet thing was fun because I'd never done that.
You made it work. But I think when I was thinking about this topic, I think all of us were pretty low maintenance hair, makeup wise. I think you have the most like involved hair routine just because of your curls.
Yeah.
But, like, I haven't been to a salon. I donated, the last time I got a professional haircut, I donated, and that was like a year and a half ago. But, like, we really don't go to, like, fancy places to get our haircut or dyed or anything.
Yeah, I haven't, like, I got highlights when I was 14, but yeah, I haven't done that in a long time.
Just once? Or?
Yeah, it was just one time. I dyed my hair. Brooke dyed my hair darker. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it, like, came out in, like, a month. So, yeah, it wasn't the best. I didn't like it. I thought I would like it, and then it was like, no.
That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was, like, later high school or something. But yeah, neither. None of us really have been, like, big makeup people either.
Yeah, I think Rachel's the only one who, like, consistently puts on makeup.
So my hair doesn't...
It's not damaged at all because she doesn't use heat or do anything to it, so it's not damaged at all.
I brush it sometimes, and I shower. I'm thinking about going back to the natural soap stuff, because I'm out of the hard water.
I don't know. I used the natural shampoo and then apple cider vinegar conditioner.
I could never do it.
I did that for probably 2 years, and I eventually stopped just because I hated when I, like, sweat or got, like, if it was raining and then my hair smelled like apple cider vinegar.
Well, you have to wash it out.
Yeah, you wash it out, but it still smells
That
like
smell
it.
never goes away.
It's still there.
Like, there are certain recipes that, like, call for getting vinegar, and my mom's like, oh, just use apple cider if you don't have white vinegar.
No.
Don't do that.
No.
Those aren't the same thing.
No. I keep saying
No.
that.
What is vinegar?
It's fermented something. I don't know what.
Alright, Lindsay, keep your head forward.
Yeah, but I just stopped because I was kind of sick of the smell. It was fine for my hair, but I think my hair will pretty much tolerate anything. Anyway, Mandy?
Wait, why do you want to go back to apple cider vinegar?
I don't know. Well, you only have to wash your hair like once a week.
Yeah, just get
I only wash my hair once a week.
sulfate.
Well, I can't do that now because you have to wash like my hair like twice, or like every 2 days.
Well, you're supposed to get. Do you have a sulfate-free shampoo?
I have Costco shampoo.
Then, is it the lacy one?
Yeah.
I think that's a sulfate-free.
Why?
Huh? Because it's the sulfate is what strips your oils, and so it makes your hair, your scalp reproduce the oils faster. So if you have one that doesn't have it, it's supposed to like keep them more intact.
So you wash your hair?
Huh? I wash my hair about every 2 days.
Yeah.
Three if I put my hair up.
Yeah.
And I did have some dry shampoo that I would use in case of emergencies. But now that they're all like cancer causing, I don't have it.
I could never use dry shampoo. Rachel uses it all the time, and I'm like,
She uses it all the time. And I like sent that thing. I was like, hey, cancer. And she never said anything.
Rachel,
Hey,
are you
cancer.
okay? Do you have head cancer?
I just don't like the way it feels in my hair. I don't know.
It makes it greasier.
Yeah, because I already have a bunch of stuff in my hair when I do my hair.
Yeah,
like,
you have a ton of products.
Yeah, I don't to like keep it where it's how it's supposed to be, but yeah, I'm like I can't do. I could not do dry shampoo.
But because Mandy's hair isn't damaged at all, it doesn't hold a bobby pin, it doesn't curl, it like kinks, kind of, and then it falls out. So growing up, we had a friend who, it was her lifelong mission to curl Mandy's hair, because she liked doing hair and makeup and stuff.
Straightened my hair once. Did a good job too.
And so one day she said, today's the day we are going to curl your hair. And so she sprayed the hair with hairspray, curled it, sprayed it while it was on the iron.
Wow.
I took it off the iron,
It's a
sprayed
fire
it.
hazard.
Yeah. Sprayed
That's
it.
what professional people do.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
No, she just had crunchy straight hair after that.
So sophomore year in high school, I went to prom with a foreign exchange student. from Germany, and I got my hair all done at this place professionally. And then as soon as pictures started, all my hair started falling out.
Because you had like an updo, like little low bun type thing, I think.
I don't know. And so all the bobby pins just started sliding out. Like I'd walk and they'd start falling like raindrops. And so my hair fell down. And then I had to deal with crunchy hair because there was a lot of hairspray.
Well, my favorite part is we didn't take pictures with her, but we were coming up the escalator into like the prom event space, and Mandy's standing there, and her date just has bobby pins in his hands, is like trying to like put them in her hair, and Mandy looks at me and she goes, "Help!" Her hair is just like exploding out the back.
But like downwards.
And then for our friend's wedding, Mandy basically dared the hairdresser.
I dared her.
She said, "My hair doesn't stay up," and the lady took it as a challenge. And she got the hair to stay. I think she braided it, which helped, but.
And then she said, it's not impossible, but it's definitely the most difficult hair I've ever had to work with.
My hair, it doesn't really hold a curl very well, but like it will stay in like an updo position if needed. But I've never been able to curl my own hair. And I was thinking about like worst hair trends while thinking about this podcast. And when everyone had like that crunchy, wet looking like curly hair, I tried to do that with my super straight hair, and so I would take my little mousse and spray it in my hand, and then I'd try to like crunch it up.
Mousse.
And that was such a bad look for everyone.
Remember when it was like you'd have to have it like curly in the back, but then kind of flat and like straight pieces in the front?
No.
Or wait, no, reverse. Straight in the back, but like people would have like curls in the front. I would do that sometimes. I straighten my hair, and then I'd like get the front like kind of bang area like wet to make it recurl. I don't know why. I remember I changed my profile picture that people were like, "Your hair is so cute," my cousin and stuff. Maybe it was just my cousin. I don't know.
Well, I remember one year for your birthday when the InStyler was a thing. You got the InStyler.
Oh my God,
and we were all like, "What? She got one of those?"
What was that one?
That was the one. I still have it. It's the one that has like
It was like an
it's like a rotating thing. You like pinch it and it goes and it like rotates the hair out and stuff.
So it just, you don't have to twist it? It twists
So it was like a straightener and a curler.
Yeah.
But growing up, me and Mandy, we went to the deep discount hair cutter place, like where all the women had mullets.
It smelled like smoke.
Yeah. I think my lady was like, "Colleen," or something like that.
Colleen.
And then I think my mom realized like the quality of haircuts you get if you go to like an actual salon.
Well, it took her until we were
so
like
much better.
We were like 17, and she's like, "I went to a place where you pay, and then it's so much better." Wow.
But after learning her lesson with going to actual salons, my mom did revert back to going to the cheap places like last year. But then she had an instance where she got a haircut, went home, it was so bad, she walked into an actual salon that day to have someone fix her hair. You would get it was a place where you could get $5 off a haircut on the back of a grocery store receipt.
What?
And the haircut's $21.
I believe it.
Yeah. So that's happened twice in her life where she's gotten a haircut and then had to take it somewhere to get it.
Had to take it back.
Yeah.
She got a haircut and then had to take it back.
Well, I went to like a $50 place just to get my straight, normal cut. She didn't even wash it or anything. And it was bad. Like, I always have to go back over with scissors and, like, fix it because it will be, like, really long strands. I'm like, it's a straight haircut. And I paid $50 for this.
Yeah, people always struggle cutting Mandy's hair because it's so straight and then she doesn't get any layers to, like, hide anything. Do you have any interesting hair cutting stories, Olivia?
Well, besides the one of the freaking lady, like, showing up 30 minutes late, I mean, like, usually with, like, curly hair, well, like, the first time I remember, like, going, we went to, like, there's this place, I don't know if it's still in business or not, and this dude, like, cut our hair. Horrible way he cut it now, like, now that you, like, see it or whatever, you know, because it's, like, he got our hair soaking wet. Like, okay, he washed it, yes.
It's cool.
He washed it, yes, that was good. But, like, it was sopping wet. And these pictures of, like, our first, like, actual haircuts.
How
And
old
we're, like,
were you with your first professional
It was,
haircut?
like, 7. Grace was, like, 4, I think. But, yeah, our first, like, and we're, like, our hair's soaking wet. We're smiling and stuff because, like, oh, it was fun. But, like, he cut our hair soaking wet. It did not look. I remember my mom having to, like, fix some things. Ooh, you're too wrong.
It just keeps going.
I know.
There's
Isn't
no
it
battery.
weird?
It's all Venturi.
It's all natural, baby. But yeah, he like cut our hair. It was bad. But like, I remember like the basement area, and I realize this now, but like, I don't know what my little 7-year-old brain was on at that time, because for some reason, I thought that the basement of this salon thing was like, let's just call it a brothel. I thought it was like a brothel because it was like, my mom was like, you guys are not allowed to go down there. But like, she's like, that's the spa part, and like, that's not for little kids. And like, I thought like, oh, spa, that must mean it's like bad. Like, I don't know what happens. I didn't know. And so I was like, oh no, like that must, we really can't go down there or whatever. Because like, women would go down there who, obviously like there was like a nail place down there, you know, probably, and like,
a place
hot
where
tub, stuff like that.
Don't want screaming kids.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I mean, it was an adult place. Like that's the thing. Like they like, we were like the only children there, so it was like, you can't go down there, you know. And it was like, oh my gosh, and for some reason, because it was like, okay, it looked like a dungeon because the stairs you went down were like a windy, like you know, like those little small not circular, but like the going down,
Like a little
windy.
cast iron.
Yes, those exactly that. And it was like, you walked down and it was like, clink, clink, and I was like, oh man.
You asked your mom, why did you take us to the brothel hair salon?
She's like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, and then I went to this haircut place that downtown, and this lady, they had a policy that like every 5 minutes you were late, you got charged like $10 extra or whatever, because we have to see other people, and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, so that was dumb, and the lady was like, 30 minutes late one morning, and she's like, oh, sorry, I had a late night last night and left my car downtown, so I had to Uber here. And I'm like 25 years, or not 25, I'm like 20 years old, sorry, I'm only 25, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why are you so unprofessional? Like, geez, I'm like sitting here judging her. Should have been, I mean, I was in the right. I have the right.
It just keeps going.
It feels good. Like, that would be good to take to like an outdoor event where it's gonna be hot.
With a fan on it.
All right, shaking.
Have an exorcism.
Huh?
Movies.
Do an exorcism.
Ta-da! Oh, that feels so much better. That feels healthy.
Woo! I'm healthy. We're healthy in this house.
I feel healthy. We're not sick.
I will say though, it is like not stressful, but like it's like hard having people like trust you to cut their freaking hair. Cause it's like, oh, you're gonna go walk around in public like this, you know, like whatever I do to you for at least 4 weeks. For me, like for 4 months, it's gonna look like that.
Yeah, I think cutting guys' hair would be pretty stressful. Cause
Yes.
I did try during COVID. I did try to cut my husband's hair.
Wait, you just want your ends, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say that's what I'm doing. I just want to make sure.
my dad had some like cheap clippers that like were still in the packaging. So he gave that to me and I tried to cut my husband's hair, but they were so bad every time I would like lift up. I think I would have done a good job, but the clippers, they were like so bad they wouldn't cut. They'd just like pull his hair. And so he ended up like just quitting because it hurt too bad.
Yeah, that's like the ones I used to use because like they're from like the 90s.
Wow.
And like my dad used to cut my brother's hair with them, and so we would use those. And then Sam had clippers or whatever, and so we used his. But then he moved out, and then when he moved out, he bought me like for my birthday my like clipper, my brand new clippers. He was like, "Happy birthday!" I was like, "Woohoo! I'm cutting his hair." He's like, "Now you don't have to use mine anymore." I was like, "Thanks."
Do you ever think you would want to go into that professionally?
No, like Quinn was saying, like, oh, maybe you could, like, maybe he could give you some lessons and it could be like a side gig. I'm like, it's already a side gig. I'm like, I'm just not making people pay because I'm not gonna do that to my friends and family. That's dumb.
Yeah, so Mandy had like an open house after she moved into her new place. And how many people's hair did he cut? He cut mine, Mandy's roommate, and the mullet guy.
Yeah.
My mom used to watch a little girl, and she had like the most sensitive head
Oh my gosh.
ever. Like my mom would just
Grow up.
barely touch her with the brush, and she'd just start like crying. It's horrible.
That's what happens when
And
you don't have a mother.
Oh man.
She had like the thickest hair too, so it made it even worse.
My Oma used to like, cause she was especially like used to like doing all like my uncles and my mom's hair or whatever. So she had like like certain brushes like for really tight black hair, and like I love those ones because they were so soft. Like if you wanted to get your hair straight or like do your edges or whatever, that's the perfect brush to use. But like she would freaking like rake that thing through your head. You're like, ah! Your head's like being yanked back. I'm like, oh, okay, Oma. I'm writing more for book.
Yay!
Or I picked it back up again since 2020. I like the time stamp was like right before I got my job at Book. I like stopped doing it. But yeah, now I'm like this month I've had more time to do stuff because no weddings, so I'm like, oh, I might as well write. Her mom worked at a Nazi camp in Blackhammer, but she didn't know it was a Nazi camp. She did like their taxes in their office.
Maybe just like
And like a concentration camp or
like the front of a concentration camp.
Oh wow.
Like where they're like, oh, this is a business, you know?
and then like a tiny bit.
Yeah.
When America came into the concentration camps, they didn't know what they were walking into. They didn't know they were walking into like a concentration camp. They thought it was like something to do with like the war effort or something.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't realize like
The Russians knew.
when they saw how like skinny everyone was, like they were so surprised because they had no idea it was going on until after like the liberation.
Okay. Anywhere else you can see?
I think that looks good.
Yeah, the Russians knew because the Russians, when they came in, they knew the people were like sickly and stuff, and they immediately they had shipped out a bunch of them, but they had some of the Jews left in there, and so some of them they had them as like human shields. My mom told me about that or whatever. She's like, yeah, in Blackhammer, whenever because she like looked up all the history of it, and she was like, in Blackhammer, that's the one where it was a smaller one, and they used like the Jews as human shield when the Russians came in. I was like, oh my gosh, well that took a turn.
From hair to Holocaust.
Hair to Holocaust.
That's the 30 minutes.
Well, thank you for coming to Olivia's Hair Salon, and we will see you next time.